Today on episode 235 of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, our MLB Playoff Preview, new team builder, our NFL Week 5 pick show, and the TCF Top 3 of Gummy candies. Let's roll. Hello and welcome back to Typical Chicago Fans, brought to you by our incredible sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. Today is episode 235. Make sure to follow us on X at typical_Chicago. Head over to Facebook and Instagram. Give those pages a like as well for all of our content in video form. We are on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, type in Typical Chicago Fans, hit that red subscribe button. You can find it all there. Wherever you get your podcast, we are there as well. So make sure you subscribe, rate, review, 5 stars, whatever you got to do on whatever platform you have. We are there. You can find me on X at BoomyTCF, but make sure to follow Zach there as well at ZLiliaTCF. And Maddie's not with us tonight, but give him a follow over at schools_01. Zach, I know we said it 10 days ago, whatever the last episode. It's officially fall, dude.
I don't know. It's hot today.
It was a little warm, but the leaves are falling. It's officially
I'm still
fall.
waiting for that crisp fall air. It's still pretty warm, and it's dusty and gross from all the harvesting in the air. But, yeah, it's fall time, but I don't know if it's fall weather just yet.
I don't disagree with what you're saying, but still, like, it was warm today, but it was like 79, 78 degrees warm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the leaves, and like you said, harvest, like I thought today, I'm like, man, I need to clean my car. So, I mean, I live literally surrounded by corn and bean fields. And I'm like, what's the point? Like, there's 0 point in attempting to do this.
My mom was driving by one. She's like, I thought it was on fire, but it was just so much dust.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, my allergies have been really fun this week. So, start my daily allergy pill routine here in the morning.
Yeah, it's that time of year, the dust, and you don't keep your windows open this time of year.
That is true. That is true. Let's jump into things. As always, we've got sinkers and floaters. My sinker this week, Zach, is the NFL referees and penalties more specifically.
Oh my
and
goodness.
I've been having this thought because I had the same reaction that you did. I'm like, penalties have to be up, right? I looked into it a little bit, and they said that the number of penalties offensively are up, and almost up like 25 compared to last year. I got the numbers right here. Steadily, nope, that's defensive penalties that have significantly gone down from 168 in the first 2 weeks of 2022, 138 this year. However, offensive penalties have increased every year for the past 3 years. And I don't know about you. I watch entirely too much NFL, but I'm just getting sick. It feels like it's every other play.
It's almost every other play, and it's annoying, and it takes away from the game, and it makes it longer.
Yes. Yeah, dude. I think it was the Bears.
If you really look at it, a holding call can be called every single play.
Yes.
If you really wanted to. Like, come on, we understand, but let's like play the game unless it's something that's like crazy. We got to keep it moving.
My dad we were talking about it yesterday, and he said that he's like, unless it affects the outcome of the play, there's really no need to call it, because you could probably throw a flag on every single play. Like you said, holding, but even outside of that.
It just seems like every time there's a big play, you go, is there a penalty? Is there a penalty?
Yep.
And then when there's not one, you're like, okay, let's keep moving. But you're always looking.
It feels like it does take away from the celebration aspect of it.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Because as soon as you start celebrating, the first thought,
you see a penalty called, and the guy celebrating, you're like, oh, dude, that's coming back.
Yep. It's so frustrating. And, like, I get that it's the most popular game in America, and you want it to be cleaned up. But, like, there comes to a point, like, there's some games that I'm watching. It's just, especially with teams that are, like, I don't want this to come off as, like, but, like, not of the elite level teams. Like, when I was watching, even tonight, we're recording this Monday night and watching the Dolphins and the Titans, and it felt like the Bears and Colts game a couple weeks ago was just an insane amount of flags. But it's also
you can always tell the noon games if a game takes so long that there's other games that are already over with, and it just takes away from the watching experience too.
That Bears Colts game felt like it got done at 5 o'clock and it started at noon.
It's just crazy.
But it's all of them, man. It's so bad. Like, we've got to clean some things up.
They always say the first few weeks, but we're into week 5 now, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, I hope this is the change. This is the week.
My sinker is mouth guards. People wearing 2 mouth guards, or even Caleb Williams, he chews on his mouth guard, kind of like Steph Curry. What's the point of having it if you're going to do that?
Yeah.
That annoys me.
We may be getting into a little old man yells at cloud thing, because I know, like, is it Keon Coleman, the wide receiver for the Bills, that wears 2 different mouth guards, and they're always the opposing team's colors.
I don't care about that, but it's just, first of all, that would be annoying.
Yeah.
Second of all, what's the point of having 2? Come on.
I don't. Apparently, we're just too old. I don't get it either.
Like Steph Curry sits there and chews on it while he's shooting free throws. It's like, just leave it in your mouth.
And I was a guy, like, I had to wear a mouth guard because I have some fake teeth all throughout high school, and I had like a purple and yellow divided one in the middle. It was very expensive. I had it for all 4 years, but like, I would get to a point where, like, I would chew on it a little bit, but that plastic ends up like cutting your mouth, or the rubber does.
And it's also not good for it. And it's just stupid. It just annoys me.
I agree. And I played, like I said, I only played football for 1 year. And like, we had the ones, just like the old crappy purple one that like attaches to your helmet. Even like, so I imagine having one in my mouth and another one dangling from it. That would drive me insane.
Well, yeah. Having 2 at the same time is crazy. Yeah. And the chewing on it, I guess I can see it, but it's just
like a nervous tick.
It's like you see him chewing on it like down the court. It's like, aren't you supposed to have that in your mouth?
I did like it when Steph threw it into the crowd and got it teed up for that one. I remember that.
That's so gross.
Don't lie though. If you got it thrown at you and it was sitting right there, you'd pick it up and put it in your pocket.
Oh yeah, well, but it's gross. It's worth a lot of money, probably.
Sanitizer afterwards.
That's a good amount of money.
My floater this week, Zach, is Pesto the Penguin. And I don't know how much you've been on TikTok lately, but if you haven't seen about Pesto the Penguin down in Australia, I am obsessed with this fat, enormous penguin. He's not very old. He's still like the dark brown penguin. Like when they get older, that's when they turn white and black.
Yeah, he's like older than everybody.
Yeah, he's bigger than like a full-grown penguin can be anywhere between like 42 and 47 pounds. He's already like 49 pounds, and he's like 7 weeks old.
It looked weird too, because like usually just a penguin looks just like what a penguin will look like, and this guy's just got like brown fur.
And he will be black and white. He just
I know, but at some point, but not right now.
Yep. It's crazy. And he is enormous. He is bigger. Like, I keep watching TikToks on it. I'm obsessed with this thing.
Is he Mudang?
Yeah, that hippo's naughty, dude.
Yeah, well, hippos are naughty animals.
It is cute. I will give Mudang that, but that hippo is not nice.
Oh yeah, it's getting pushed around and stuff.
But I guess that's hot. I mean, hot right now in the streets, because I watch a lot of Mudang and Pesto the Penguin. I'm obsessed with both of them right now.
Nowadays.
I love it. Hey, man, this is so much better than all the negative crap that can be on the internet. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much bad stuff in the world. Like, I'd much rather be obsessed with these.
We'll be talking about Mudang than politics.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of like the underline of this show, right? Like, everything on the world's going on, and we're sitting here talking about a baby hippo and a fat penguin and referees that throw too many flags.
It's what's most important in the world.
Exactly.
My floater is hot coffee because of what time of the year it is. Usually people switch from iced coffee to hot coffee right around here when it gets cooler out. But I stick to iced coffee at all times.
I was going to ask, my wife is also one. She's iced coffee
all the
12
time. I
months
just
a
don't
year.
want to wait for it. I'm one of those people that just don't want to wait for it to get cool.
That's fair.
I'm very impatient. So if I have to wait
And
for the coffee to get cool enough for me to drink it pretty quickly,
yeah.
it takes a while.
Also, big shout out to our friends over at Connect Roasters. If you guys need some hot or even some
Oh
iced
yeah.
coffee, head over
Hot coffee, that time of
connectroasters.com.
year.
This is certainly we've been over this a million times. I'm not a big coffee drinker, but this is the time of the year where, like, usually once every 2 weeks, every week sometimes, I'll stop and get a nice little hot coffee out of the cappuccino machine. You know what I'm talking about. I don't know what the exact words are, but at
Yeah,
the
if it's
gas
super
station.
cold out, I'll probably get like a hot coffee just to keep your hands warm.
Yeah, that's not a bad call. That is not a bad call. Let's get into things, Zach. As always, we got the TCF Sports Minute. This will be a lot of top-heavy stuff because we got a lot of bad stuff to talk about. But let's talk about the good stuff. Your Bears pick up the win over the depleted Rams, 24-18. Thoughts were a little over 24 hours removed. Where you sit at 2-2? You can't argue with
Very
that.
happy. I kind of switched the win and loss with the Colts. I thought they would have beat the Colts. They beat the Rams. It's fine. 2-2. They have a stretch here where they play like the Panthers, Jaguars. They play some not that great teams, and if they,
Perks
it's
of
like,
finishing fourth in the division.
yeah, well, it helps now, but the back
Yeah,
half of this schedule is very tough. As
yeah,
of week 11, they play 6 division games after that because they don't play the Packers until week 11, and that's their
yeah.
first division game, which I think is crazy.
That
And they
is
got like
crazy.
the 49ers in there. They got the Cardinals. Um, I think that there was a good win. It was a win that last year I think they wouldn't have won, even with
Yeah.
a team like the Rams who didn't have a lot on offense, but still, I love the defense. And with Keenan Allen out there, you just see how important he is to have just out there.
Yeah, just as another target.
Yeah, because then they're not just always honing in on DJ Moore and Romadunze. There's
I
one
do
more
think
person they got to worry about.
I didn't look at the numbers, but I did watch most of the game. Did Cole Kmet get any more action in Week
Yeah,
4 than he has
they've
in
been
the first?
throwing the ball. They had an amazing throw. Caleb did over one of the defenders to get to Cole Kmet. Awesome throw. But yeah, I mean, he's being used a lot more than he was week 1 for sure.
Is the offensive line getting better, or is Caleb just adapting to
Just
what
tough. I
is?
mean, there's more injuries to the offensive line. Pryor is playing his second game with the Bears, which helped a lot. I think it's just trying to put pieces together and hopefully they all work at this point.
Yeah, yeah. Do the numbers, do the passing yards mean anything to you? Because I think Caleb threw for like
No, not really. I mean,
150.
DeAndre Swift, this was a great game for him. There were fans were saying, maybe me too, that why keep running into DeAndre Swift? Why keep doing that? And then they showed you why, because he can have a game like he did, and he had that breakaway touchdown. Also using Johnson in there is also those two together. I think is a great running back.
Yeah. The like you said, picking up wins where you don't apologize for anything. The Rams,
Oh no,
that did feel like a game that, like, last year and the year before, the Bears would have
you
let
throw it away
slide
at the
through.
end, and
Yeah,
they had pressure on Stafford all day.
for sure. The defense is there. The defense is there, and like you said, with the Panthers coming up next, coming into Soldier Field, like, that's another one
Andy
you got to
Dalton,
take advantage.
though, you got to worry about
Little
it.
Andy Dalton revenge
But it is
game.
his third game. I think the luster will maybe go away, but because it's still like, I mean, it's still the Panthers around him.
But the only thing that, like, I that sticks out to me for next week is, like, Andy Dalton and that offense, which is not very good, and it's a bunch of young guys running out there with the second oldest quarterback in the NFL. They still put up 24. And I don't think Cincinnati's defense is anything to write home about. But it's not like this is going to be
pressure. It's going to be a lot of
this
pressure.
is not going to be the Carolina team that you saw in week 1 and 2. Like they can't come in with that mentality.
In Carolina, but
Yeah,
with him in Chicago, with a young team around him, I think that the pressure will get to him.
Last thing
Not just
before
Andy
we move
Dalton,
on.
but just everyone on that team.
Yeah. It's a tall task going on the road like that. Now I got to ask before we move on. The post-game double fist pump celebration.
That's my new celebration. I didn't know if you saw that on Twitter. That's what I will be doing from now on.
That's bad.
Tough, but I mean, we knew Caleb Williams did different things and stuff like that. It's a tough look, but guess what? He won. It looks way worse when you lose.
Yeah, that is true. If he would have thrown for like 350 yards and they lose and he's doing that
quarterback
celebration.
Wore a bad guy to the game.
What'd you say?
Your quarterback wore a bad guy to the game.
Oh, please.
Bad guy.
Remind me after the show. I don't know if I sent you the TikTok that I just saw.
I saw that.
Okay. That was horrible.
That was bad.
That was bad. Yeah, so I think that, like I said, the Bears are in a good spot here, but you got to take care of this. You got to, you're supposed to win. You're the favorite.
Listening to the Barstool Chicago breakdown of the game, and you got to go 4-1 here in the next 5 games. You play pretty good.
That's tough to do.
Not very good teams per se. You got like Commanders. You got
Commanders pretty good.
I know, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
teams that you should be able to beat. 4-1. That'll put you in a good spot for 6-2. 6-3 going into
easily the most difficult division in football too.
Yeah, so we'll see. It's always fun to win.
Yeah, that is true. Speaking of the opposite of that, not winning, the Cubs and Sox. Cubs finished the season 83-79. Do not make the playoffs.
Disappointing. Yeah. If they had another month left, which you always say in baseball, you always want more time. But this team was really kind of coming together here. They just blew it in the first few months of the season by blowing leads and blowing saves and stuff like that. It's just sometimes they don't realize that those games matter at the beginning of the season.
I think the old saying goes that you can't win a division in April, but you can lose one. Yeah. And it felt like it wasn't necessarily April. It felt more like June, but like that's when the division was lost.
Yeah, the bullpen problems and Adbert blowing saves and then Hector Neris. And it's a tough start to the season. And I think we got our third baseman, though. You got to be happy about that. I think Paredes is going to be a good third baseman for the future. It sucks, yes, that we lost Christopher Morel in it, but I think you're going to look back on that, and that's going to be a great trade.
Yeah, I think so, too. I think that, like you said, underperforming is for sure here. And I also think that we might have seen the last of Kyle Hendricks.
Yeah.
Kind of end of an era, man.
He still wants to pitch next year, but I just don't know if you can find a spot in this rotation for what Kyle Hendricks is. You want to win next year. I don't really know if you want him in the rotation.
Yeah, I think it's just
I love Kyle Hendricks. Kyle Hendricks is maybe like a top 5 guy for me because he's been there forever. He never switched teams. He's always been with the Cubs.
Yeah.
He's always been that guy that, like, when you have a problem, he fixes it.
That is that. I can't argue with the word you're saying and what he's done for the organization and been around as long as he has. But looking for the future, I think it is time to move on. And I
know a lot of the guys from the 2016 team have been traded, but I still think a lot of them would have signed somewhere else if they wouldn't have been traded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think Kyle Hendricks sticking around just shows you the type of guy he is.
100%. And White Sox do.
He deserves that ovation too. Sorry.
Absolutely. You're 100. I had a friend who was at the game, and he said it was awesome to see Kyle walk off the mound for probably the last time. So
He
we'll see
may
what
pitch
happens this
somewhere
offseason.
next year. I just don't see it being with the Cubs.
Yeah, that's fair. White Sox, they do set history, the fewest amount of wins in modern baseball. 41 and 121. Jerry Reinsdorf put out a thing about looking into the free agent market and
Made it
building
worse. I don't
internally.
know how you can make the worst season of all time worse, but he did.
He said a whole lot of nothing, and it's
A
like
whole lot of nothing. And he pretty much goes, "I'm a billionaire, and I still haven't fixed the problem."
yeah. And I mean, all of us, we're not White Sox fans, but like we kind of like are White Sox knowledge adjacent because of, the sports we watch and where we live. But like we all know damn well they're not going to sign anybody. And if they
No.
do, it's going to be
And it's
someone
sad because he
on
also
a deal.
owns another team in town, and he likes the White Sox more. That's what's crazy, is he likes the White Sox more, and the Bulls are just magically better sometimes during the season. But it's kind of annoying if you're a White Sox fan. You're just like, dude, like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
In what way are
It's
they going to
got
get
to
better?
be. Well, we talk about it all the time. Like, it's billionaires that, like, if you're a billionaire, like, one of the coolest parts about being a billionaire would be to own a sports team. But when you have a sports team, then run it like you are a billionaire who owns a sports team and
But the
don't do
thing
this
is, he
crying
didn't really
for.
get into it because I don't think it was the love of the game. I think he got into it because he got a great deal, and
Yeah, it was a
now it's just
business
worth so
opportunity.
much money.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. And, like, even a team that just set, history is still going to make money this year.
It's just, yeah, it's crazy. And like I said, he made it worse by speaking up.
Yeah, that is true. But on the positive side, I don't think it's going to get worse next year. There's just no way.
There's no way.
There,
But it has to get a certain amount better, or it's just like, what are we doing here? Are we just
I
gonna
feel like it's like
spin
a
our tires in the mud
statistical.
all day long?
I feel like it's got to be a statistical impossibility to happen twice in a row.
I don't know. I'm blanking right now, but I saw somebody who said that owners should be punished if your
Yeah.
teams are this bad.
Well, and they kind of are in the sense that like the White Sox can't pick until like sixth next year, even though they're the worst team in
And the
baseball.
problem
Because
is too, it's like if you put it up to the board, the owners love Jerry Reinsdorf
oh yeah,
because he
oh
keeps he's the one that spends no money.
yep, that's
It's just
the
like
money ball stuff.
it's just you're just going in a circle all the time.
Speaking of that, the Blackhawks apparently they opened preseason last week. I did not know that.
And they play like 4 or 5 games.
Season opening here soon. I think this team will be improved, but they're still not a playoff team. And we'll get
It'll be
Maddie
fun to
back on
watch.
that
And in
soon.
hockey, it's one of those sports where if you sneak into the playoffs, anything can happen. And I think they're
I
at
don't think
that
this
point.
team's going to be anywhere near a playoff spot, though.
Oh, I think differently. I think they're going to be sneaky good, or at least fun to watch. I mean, they were around 500 last year.
No, Zach, they were the second worst team in hockey.
Oh, were they? So what was the
Yeah.
record?
I'll look it up.
I don't understand all this hate on the Blackhawks that I've heard on the radio and stuff. Like they've made some decent moves. It's hockey.
Yeah,
We have
I don't
one of those
disagree.
exciting players that in the league, and they've signed some decent players. They've who was the Maroon? Pat Maroon? Yeah, Pat Maroon.
Yeah.
Enforcer, won some Stanley Cups, gonna come in here, maybe help the young guy. I think this team is gonna be fun to watch and it could be at least be around 500.
They were 23-53 and 6.
Okay.
They had the second
I'm
worst
talking about this
record
season now.
in hockey. Yeah. I agree. I want to be hopeful, but like I still just think they're a little I feel like a lot of the guys that they are hoping on to be successful are still either not with the team or are down in Rockford are still not in the system yet. So I hope I'm wrong.
I think
I
this is
watched
what we talked about last season. This is not how we should go into the second season of Connor Bedard.
I trust me. I wish I could sit here and say I'm hopeful, but I guess I'm just not.
What's the point of not being hopeful before the season starts?
I just don't think they've done enough.
It's
hard to go from second to worst. It's hard to go from second worst team in hockey to a playoff team.
I think it's a lot easier than it is in most sports. You get a good goalie or something like that, or somebody who can stand on their head, which I love saying.
That is one of the best sayings in sports. We'll see. I really do. I hope I'm wrong. Moving on to the Bulls media day today. I think they start preseason October 8th.
There, that's exciting.
It was, but yeah, I think they were projected for like same thing, like right around 40 wins.
Anything matters.
Actually, worse.
Until you get rid of Zach LaVine, it doesn't matter. He doesn't want to be there, and nothing is going to really happen until they can move on from Zach LaVine.
Yeah, and obviously no DeMar with the trade this summer.
DeMar, yeah.
I think
the guy that they drafted though is going to be a good player.
Yeah, I do too. I like the Bulls are projected for 32 wins. That's bad.
Yeah, it's not good. But you know what that is? That's average. That's
10 games under 500.
I know, but what I mean is like that's just enough to get you the 8th pick. Or 7th,
which is where the Bulls love to be.
Yeah, that's just where you love to be. You're not going to be awful enough to get the 1st pick.
Yeah, it seems like another year they're going to be drafting 7th.
Just like the
that
White
just
Sox,
seems to be their lucky number.
You just keep going in a circle. It's all the same.
Also, in sad news, the legend Derrick Rose finally hangs him up. Man, that was tough to see.
If you don't think that his number should be retired in Chicago, you're insane. You're crazy.
I agree. I completely agree. Youngest MVP from Chicago.
MVP.
Had the Bulls as a 1 seed ahead of the Heat.
Oh, I mean, and people don't remember the time where he took the Celtics to 7 games his rookie year.
The Big Three. I will never forget that. We watched that on like the first generation of iPhones at my senior prom. Everybody was dancing, and me and my idiot groups of friends were huddled around watching Game 7 on somebody's iPhone.
What he did in that series was amazing. I don't know if I have it in here, but I have a picture frame of his stats from that series.
Yeah, that is insane. Shout out, man.
Have played 16 seasons in the NBA. This shows you like that's how good he is. He got hurt and ended up not being the greatest player of all time or whatever, the greatest point guard, but he made it 16 seasons in the league. That's
with all of those injuries.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
It is. I mean, absolute Bulls legend right there.
He was just so athletic. He could jump so high.
Yeah, I go back, like I follow so much like high school sports in the state of Illinois. I remember watching D Rose play for a state championship like his sophomore year. I watched it on TV because we always went to the small school ones. But that one I was like, oh, this guy's very different. He's like 15 years old and is just out here cooking 18-year-old grown men. Like he's the best player on the court. And then you get to see him be the point guard of your favorite team. And, back when the Bulls were good and making runs, it was just something different. It's hard to explain, but
you can always say that
one was tough.
Derrick Rose is a big what if, but he still played 16 years in the league. It's not like he hurt his knee and retired early.
One of those guys you wish you would have seen get picked up, by the Warriors or somebody to go win a ring, but hell of a career.
He just loved the game of basketball. He just loved to play basketball.
And I also feel like he's a guy that like we won't see much about for a long time. He's a pretty quiet, reserved guy.
He's just gonna go chill. which is awesome.
We ain't gonna see much of D-Rose. I wish him nothing but the best.
This is a cool story too. I mean, he's from Inglewood,
Mhm.
in Chicago, to probably making all together with deals and stuff $300-400 million in his career.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
awesome.
that Adidas contract was what, $200 million?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe 180, but
And you say whatever you want, even with him getting injured, they still made their money back on him.
100%. Shoot, I still got 2 pairs of his shoes in my closet right now from 14 years ago.
I think I had his shoes like sophomore, junior year of high school.
Yeah, yep. I think I got that same exact pair. So, yeah, tough to see D Rose go, but what a legend, man. Before we move on, big shout out to our friends, like we talked about earlier, at Connect Roasters. Coffee, best coffee around that you are going to find. I promise you that.
The nicest guy you'll ever meet.
Yep. Absolutely. Throwing $100 bills to the left field for beers. They work with Ian, and it's in the Cubs clubhouse. You know it's good quality stuff. Ian Happ, 2-time Gold Glove winner. He doesn't drink Folgers in the morning. He drinks Connect Roasters. So make sure you get what Ian
He's going
drinks.
to be a 3-time. Let's just say that.
We shall see. ConnectRoasters.com. Find them on X at Connect Roasters. But also, if you are in Bourbonnais, make sure you stop there at their storefront. Whatever you do, wherever you're at, get yourself some good Connect Roasters coffee. So, as always, a big shout out to our friends over in Bourbonnais at Connect Roasters. Zach, the MLB playoffs start today, Tuesday, October 1st, after the doubleheader between the Braves and the Mets on Monday. So, let's jump into the series that we got, the wild card series. We're going to pick some winners. Let's start off with one, and I'll say this before we even get started. These wild card series, I think, are going to be phenomenal.
It's fun how they put them out with a game every day, starting around 2:30 every day. It's fun.
I love it. First series in the American League, Detroit and Houston. Detroit, arguably the hottest team in baseball.
I think
First
Detroit
time
is unstoppable right now.
I do worry because the Astros are the Astros. They won the West. They had a very, very slow start and have played just really solid baseball pretty much since June. And kind of coasted.
On the Astros? Jason Hayward.
So is Hector Neris. So I like Detroit. I want Detroit to win, but I think it's going to take at least 3. It's not going to be easy.
No, but I think they had the momentum, and they're just fun to watch.
I agree. I would really like to see Houston eliminated in the first round. That's just me.
I think if you're not a Houston fan, you want to see them lose.
Yes, exactly.
They become the Yankees.
Yeah, that's a fair comparison. I never thought I'd be saying the words, but I really hope Detroit wins. I'll be cheering for the Tigers. Moving to the next American League wildcard series, another hot team, the Royals and the Orioles. Again, kind of the same thing. I never thought I'd be saying. I like the Orioles. I like what they've done, but man, these Royals are. Bobby Witt Jr. is arguably one of the best hitters in baseball. Not even arguably.
I want them to win just to see Bobby Witt keep playing.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing. Also, Brady Singer, I know most people, that just casually follow baseball. Florida kid that was a very high draft pick, pitches for the Royals, like Brady Singer a lot.
The Orioles, they shouldn't have fallen apart. Really, they didn't play that great at the end of the season. They shouldn't be in this round.
Yeah, the Yankees kind of took that division pretty handily, but it was tight. But you'd expect that out of a young team. Either way, I like both of these teams in this series.
Yeah, I wish both these teams could win.
Yeah, maybe I wish that we could get rid of one of the other AL teams that is not playing.
I think that the Royals don't have the future like the Orioles do. I mean, they do, I guess, with Bobby Witt.
Yeah.
But
either way, that's going to be a good series. Going to the National League, the Mets and the Brewers. I really hate to say it, but the Brewers are so good.
They're good too, but they're getting a Mets team that is hot.
But like also a Mets team that's not gonna.
They had to waste a pitcher and everything.
Yep.
But
2 pitchers because it played the doubleheader on Monday.
It's also 2 teams I wish could both lose.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking
not a huge Mets guy either.
Yeah, same. Maybe we could shuffle it around, eliminate both of those teams, and let the Orioles and the Royals both move on somehow.
Yeah,
Can we
move
can
them
we
to
figure
the
out a way to do that?
National League.
Unfortunately, I do think Milwaukee's going to win this series. Just
They're
having
really good.
the 2 days off or
If you're
one
a
day
Cubs
off.
fan, you gotta feel. That's the worst I feel about this season is that we took the Brewers coach and they got better.
Yeah, and they got. I mean, they were one of the first teams to clinch their
Significantly
division.
better. I mean,
Yeah,
they were at one point 10 games ahead of us, and it was just like
yeah.
we're done.
I think
So
that's what it finished. Yeah, and another race or another series of two teams I wish could lose:
yeah,
the Braves and the Padres.
I'm not a fan of these NL wild card games because other than you, Darvish, I don't like the Padres
See, I
and
like
the Braves.
Tatis. I can't
The
stand
Braves
Manny
have
Machado, but
always the Braves have been on my shit list since they did that thing with Acuna last year.
oh yeah,
I think that ruined the
yeah,
season for the Cubs. And Blooper or whatever, he stinks.
yeah. I'm with you. I guess I would probably lean towards cheering for the Padres, but I also think this is kind of a similar situation as the Brewers. The Braves having to waste two pitchers on Monday and having to play two games and turn around and play
The only
Tuesday night.
reason I would like to see the Braves win is because I don't like seeing division teams play each other in the playoffs because you've already seen them play so many times. I want to see you play somebody else.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I think
Unless it's when the Cubs beat the Cardinals, that was amazing.
yeah, because we could see a world where the Mets and the Phillies are in one side and the
Yeah,
Dodgers
that's
and
kind of boring.
Padres. Yeah, I'm with you there.
Also, like you go the same way, Orioles, Yankees,
Yep,
or
yep.
Tigers, Indians, or
That would be really tough.
what are they now?
Four divisional series of all inter divisional.
What is Cleveland now? Sorry,
The Guardians.
Guardians. I said that wrong.
Yeah, we technically
Yeah,
we
you could
potentially.
sing. That would be awful.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like that too much. I mean, I guess there's a little bit of bad blood there, but I think either way we're
No,
set up.
we
I
know
love
why.
the MLB
There's
playoffs.
not a single team that has bad blood for anybody nowadays. Like real bad
Yeah,
blood. The last
yeah,
real
I
bad
don't.
blood was Javi and
Chapman,
was that no, that wasn't his
Amir
name.
Garrett,
Yeah,
Amir
Amir
Garrett.
Garrett.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
that was awesome. Yeah, I'm very excited for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
Oh
for
yeah,
those
that's the
3 days
best.
of.
The best out of three. Hope every one of them goes 3 games.
I was thinking the same thing. So
But
we'll
the
be
best
back
is
next
also
week.
like I said 1:30 or I think it's like 2:30. I don't know if it's 2:30 Eastern.
Yeah, it's
The
2:30,
first game is
4:40, 5:40, and 8:30,
yeah,
I think.
2:32 Eastern is the first game. So it's
Yeah,
1:30
our time.
local time.
Check back in next week. We'll be previewing or kind of catching up on the DSs. They start on Saturday. So,
The baseball playoffs, they get going.
yes, they do. And they just keep it going. I love it.
Unlike the
Moving on.
NBA playoffs, which take too long.
That is and yeah, that in the NHL. Too many days off. Moving on, we got a new team builder this week, and we're going to imagine that we're going to a diner for breakfast. I know here me and Zach would probably choose Ziggy's, but we got plenty of options here. For those of you just listening, our $5 row is pancakes, waffles, French toast. $4 row is bacon. This is a travesty. Bacon, eggs, and loaded hash browns, or loaded hash, I guess. The $3 row is hash browns, biscuits and gravy, and sausage patties. $2 row is grits, toast, and fruit. And the $1 row is coffee, OJ, or hot cocoa. We've got $20 to spend. Do you want to go first? You want me to, Zach?
I will go first. $20.
All right. $20.
I'm starting off with French toast. I love French toast.
See, that's the last one I'm picking.
$4. I will go bacon. Bacon is amazing. So I'm at $9. Hash browns. Biscuits and gravy can be messed up pretty easily.
You've had like a couple bad things of biscuits and gravy, and
I
now
like biscuits and gravy a lot. You just gotta trust the place.
yeah.
I'm at $12.
So you can spend it. You can get another entree if you want, or another $4.
I'm gonna go eggs.
Eggs, all right. So you're up to 16.
I love toast. I'll go toast, coffee, and then I'll leave the $1 for a tip.
All right, that's fair. That's fair here. I am gonna.
Nice to me, just so you know. It's a nice guy.
I'm actually not going to get anything to drink. I'm not a coffee drinker. OJ, not really a big drinker, and hot cocoa. No, I'm not 6 years old.
I can't eat food without something to drink.
I'll take a water. They're $0. I will go waffles.
That sounds like my grandpa.
If Diet Coke was on the $1 menu, I would be taking Diet Coke. All right, so those are just three things I don't regularly drink ever. So I'll go waffle, easy. I do like pancakes. I hate the debate, waffle versus pancakes. They're both delicious. I do not like French toast. I will also go eggs at 4, so that puts me at 9. I will go. Give me biscuits and gravy and sausage. That puts me at 15. And I will do a bowl of grits, a bowl of fruit, and I'm leaving a $1 tip.
There we go. Look at how nice guys we are.
Look at us. Look at us, and let us know what you guys get. There's a lot of options I missed out here, but that's all right. I'm very, very full from my breakfast.
Yeah, it's a lot
Waffles,
of food.
eggs, biscuits and gravy, sausage, grits.
That's the great to find a little diner, just that's cheap breakfast, good times.
The problem is here, Zach, I think I just built like a 2,500 calorie breakfast.
Yeah, that's the problem is doing anything else the rest of the day.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen. Let's jump into our Week 5 NFL pick show. Quick rundown of Week 4. Assuming Detroit holds on and wins tonight as we are recording, I'll make that. Do you know the score right now by chance?
No.
I'll look it up here real quick. They're up 35-20 at the end of the third quarter. So I'm going to make the assumption that they're going to win and cover the 3.5 point spread. What'd you say?
I'll give you that one.
Well, we all three of us had it. So
well, I'll give it to me.
So I went 3-3. Zach went 4-2, and Maddie went 2-3-1, putting me at 11-12-1. Maddie is at 4-19. Nope, that's not right. 4-19-1. Hang on, I got to fix something here. Yeah, Maddie also joined the tie group like I am a part of. So Maddie is at 4-19-1, and that puts you at 13-11. So you are in first place, not by much, but you are in first place.
I keep it moving.
I know. I'm trying to get there. I screwed something up on the spreadsheet that everyone accuses me of cheating on. So
sounds like you're cheating.
Well, if someone would put their own picks in here,
that is, I can't.
It's been 5 years. You've never once put your own picks in here.
Yeah. See, I'm so used to things.
Yeah. We've taken too good a care of you. Let's jump into Week 5. You got your noon games?
Oh yes, I have Jets plus 2.5 at the Vikings. I feel like the Vikings, they gotta lose a game, and that's Aaron Rodgers coming in.
Did you watch any of that Jets game? That offense is abysmal.
But it's just got to happen. I'm looking on the Vikings to have a bad week, and then the Texans -1 at home against the Bills. -1. I know the Bills were off to a undefeated start, but they did not look good.
Smoked last night.
Yeah, and I think at home the Texans -1. I would take that all day.
I don't disagree. I think that especially if Houston can get some things together, I think Houston's a really good football team. I don't think, -1 at home, I feel like is a good pick there. I do not agree with you. I'm going to take the opposite. I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings -2.5. I'm also going to take the Indianapolis Colts at +3. They are going to the Jaguars, but I think that we're going to see Joe Flacco. I also think Jacksonville stinks.
Trevor Lawrence, I don't know what is going on, but it seems like every time he throws the ball, it's an interception.
He's bad. So yeah, I'll go with the Colts. I've been misreading them all year, so it's probably the incorrect pick. Yeah. How about the noon games? I'm sorry, afternoon games.
Cardinals +7.5 at the 49ers. That's just a lot of points. A touchdown.
Arizona looked awful on Sunday, though.
San Francisco hasn't looked that great either. Still no McCaffrey. It's just it doesn't look like what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Even though they got Greg Kittle, amazing. Seahawks
He's
minus.
hurt.
He played last week.
I think he got hurt in the game.
Oh, he was hurt before that too. He
missed. Yeah, I got it. I only know that because I got an update that
he's missed 1 week already.
Yeah.
Seahawks -6 at home against the Giants. I think the Giants stink. And the Seahawks at home. It's a big number still with 6, but I like that.
See, and I think that New York looked pretty good last week. I'm going to take the Giants +6. I'm also going to take the Raiders +3. I feel like I've been riding the Raiders a lot this year. They go to Denver. Kind of going back to the Jets. You picked the Jets, and they got beat by the Broncos. And despite the fact they only scored 10 points, I know both teams are 2-2, but I feel like the quality of wins and just the way they look, I think Vegas is going to win this game outright. There's nothing about the Broncos and Bo Nix that make me want to trust him. And I think Sean Payton's washed. Like, you should not have come back, dude. Just give it up. But
why would you want to come back and then now you're coaching a bad team?
Yeah. Like I said earlier, I'm probably falling into the trap of the number being so big, but the Giants finally look capable and put some things together. So, and I don't know. The Seahawks are undefeated, and I still don't feel like they've played super well this year. But man, is it hard to put a lot of faith in Daniel Jones. Yeah, worries me.
They may not be undefeated.
Yeah, that is true. They probably will not be by the time that game happens. So Sunday night game next week, we have the Steelers hosting the Cowboys. Pittsburgh 2.5-point favorites. Who do you got, Zach?
I got the Steelers at home. I've not liked much what I've seen from the Cowboys. And the Steelers at home, they play well. They got a great defense. Justin Fields is out there playing good, I guess. So I'll take 2.5 at home.
I'm going to take the Cowboys. I feel like the Steelers are playing better than the record shows, but I also feel like the Cowboys have still not even reached what they can do. They have not looked great so far.
Yeah, I think a lot of the Cowboys is a lot of talk, a lot of what could be.
Yeah,
and they're not there.
And I feel like if Dallas really granted, I don't think that division's anything. I think that division might be the worst division in football.
Commanders are going to come for them.
I know. That's like they've got to kind of get some things together here and do it quickly. I guess in this game, I'm simply just betting on Dak Prescott being a better quarterback than Justin Fields, and I feel pretty confident in that. But that Steelers defense,
I think the defense is just way better on the other side.
Yeah, and that's completely fair. I just feel like there's got to be a game here where Dak does something.
I just don't know if he can. Maybe he just can't do it.
I feel I don't know.
Like
I'm going to bet on that.
Cowboys, a lot of the Cowboys, all the talk about him. Same with Dak. It's like, well, when is he going to become that top quarterback in the league or become one of the top 5? It's like it just doesn't happen. He just has a good week and then he has a bad week.
Yeah, it's nothing consistent with him. Monday night, Saints go to the Chiefs. Chiefs are 5-point favorites. Who you got there, Zach?
I got the Chiefs -5.5 at home. You still got to respect the Chiefs.
I'm going to keep betting on the Chiefs until that they've shown. New Orleans has not looked good since their gigantic Week 2 win over over Dallas, and I
If I
just don't
hear
know.
one more time about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift still dating, she didn't come to the game. It's like, dude, she's like one of the most famous people in the world. She said, I
Yeah,
got
she's got a
stuff
couple
to do.
things going on.
It's so annoying.
She's a little busy.
It's just sports media people trying to pull anything out of it.
Yes. Yeah, that is shocker. I've never heard that before,
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know who you got. Maddie will get his picks in here as the week goes on, but we do have a little bit of me and Zach are only separated by 2 games here. So game and a half if you count. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out if it gets close because I'm down 2 wins, but I've got a tie. We'll figure all that out at another
It
point.
won't matter.
Yeah, so let's jump in and finish things up. As always, we've got the TCF top 3, and this week is Gummy candies. As guys who enjoy a good trip to the gas station, I'm pretty sure we're well versed in these. So, pretty open category here. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to?
I'm gonna go first, and it's Nerds gummy clusters. Those things are one of the greatest things of all time. They're so
I
easy
can't.
to eat. Just like it's just
I only have. I agree. Those are phenomenal, but I think this one should have went 1-1, and it's one we both love and respect. Zach, it's Sour Patch Kids.
oh yeah, true.
It's the only other 1-1, I think. And the problem is I
Sour
think
Patch
that
Kids are great.
Sour Patch Kids are just phenomenal. They've been around a very long time. Nerds clusters, a little newer, not a bad thing. But they've got that staying power with the Sour Patch Kids. For my second round pick, I thought I was going to be able to somehow trick both of those picks past you. That was silly. Should have known better. I'm going to just play from my heart here and not play for what sounds good. Go ahead and give me Albany's Gummy Bears. Albany's best company that makes gummies out there.
But let's
They're
just say
gummy
not
bears.
all gummy bears are taken now.
That's fine.
Because there's lots of different companies.
I will say they have one that
it's amazing.
that's like I'm trying to find exactly what they're called, but they're almost like I can't even think of the right word. They almost have like a cream mix. It's like orange and cream. Here, I'm finding them here. Took me forever to find these. Sherbet gummies. So if we had to get super specific, I would take those. But Albany is just the right
Albany's gummies bears.
Albany's gummy bears. Yes, those are.
I'm gonna go trolley crawlers. They're like they almost look like a little. They got like a octopus.
Yeah.
I could eat those for days. And then I'm gonna go peach rings. I love peach rings. And if we're gonna be specific, I like I'm gonna say peach rings, but Albany's makes like a peach, like it's not a ring, it's just a full thing. That's amazing too.
Can I'm gonna throw a pick. I'm seeing pictures here, but I'm not thinking of ones that are like the gummy worms. But Trolley makes an exploder. It's called Explosions, and they got like the sour goo in the middle.
That's amazing.
That's my third round pick. I gained quite a bit of weight my freshman year of college because I was eating those just about every day.
If you eat more than a bag, you might have like cavities.
Oh, trust me, dude. You want me to pull up my dental records? It's definitely a part of the reason that I've got fake teeth and caps and a million cavities. So let us know do you got any honorable mentions here? You know what one we're going to get a lot of heat for? Swedish Fish, not on the list.
I hate them.
See, I like Swedish Fish, but not enough to be top 3.
They take too long to eat and chew.
I do like Swedish. I just think they're kind of boring.
I like something I can eat fast.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I just think they're insanely boring. Black Forest, they make a good brand of gummy bears. Any other ones we're forgetting?
Gummy
I will say
worms.
Haribo makes like a million varieties of different things. If you go to Five Below, they have like a wall of different Haribo
Yeah.
gummies, all pretty solid. Can't go wrong.
I don't like
It,
candy flavored pop, like the root beer ones. Not big fan.
yeah, I'm with you there. How do you feel about the Skittles gummies? Those are pretty solid.
Not a big Skittles guy.
Eh, gonna disagree with you, but their gummies are really well flavored. I
Oh,
will
just so
say
you
that.
know, I also went out and got some Reese's Pieces.
I had Reese's Pieces this morning.
Yeah, I'm like, when I have to after last week, I was like, I gotta get some.
Yep, I had Reese's Pieces at 8:30 this morning. So absolutely, that was one of my favorite drafts we've ever done.
It
But
was
let us
this
know
one
what we
because
forgot.
going through the gummy candies was amazing.
I know. I think I'm gonna have to stop at the gas station tomorrow for some Albanese gummy bears. Get me through. But as always, guys, we appreciate you for joining us. It's episode 235. Make sure you find us on X at typical_Chicago, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you get your podcast. You can find us on all those. Subscribe, rate, review, like, follow, whatever you can, wherever you can. Tell a friend, tell a couple more friends. You know how it goes. Make sure you find me on Twitter at BoomyTCF, Zach at Z Lilia. Give Maddie a follow at schools_01. We will be back next week with plenty of Major League Baseball divisional series recap, a little bit more college football next week, and looking at Bulls and Hawks season, and of course NFL stuff. So make sure you join us next week right back here. We appreciate you guys joining us as always. That was episode 235 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.